Welcome back, guys. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and comment down below any comments you want to ask myself or Sai. Let's get into the video. So today we're going to discuss staying on the path of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Jiu-Jitsu as we call it. Now, something we see it very much is the blue belt blues, and also kind of that chunk between, the blue belt / purple brown kind of going missing quite a lot, I would say. And staying on the path ultimately, staying the path of submission grappling is not an easy task, I would say, in today's world. And the first point that I would make in that is it's a long and tough game. Yes, and if you're not resilient and you haven't got that long game mentality, you'll have a good first couple of years, and you might struggle after those first few years.
Especially I can see that happen a lot when you have early success and then you sort of almost catch up to the level that you're at. So then you start meeting other people who have got the skill set that you'd maybe fast forwarded through, and they test you more than you've been tested before. Which can be very disheartening for a lot of people, to be fair.
The honeymoon period is over.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And like I say, some that's a couple of weeks, and some that's a day. Like some that might be a couple of years. For the 1%, the honeymoon period stays forever.
Yeah.
Like you've got some exceptional players like your Gordons and your Craigs, where all we see is that honeymoon period.
All we see is them doing good.
But we don't see the hard work in the gym. You can if you sort of follow them a bit more, but you don't see as much the struggle. Which I think is a bit deceiving. Not in a negative way, because like everyone does it. And I wouldn't say I changed my word. I wouldn't say deceiving, misleading. I'd maybe say because everybody wants to be amazing at something, whether it's fucking tiddlywinks in your back garden or whether it's being a world champion heavyweight boxer or grappler. Everybody wants to excel at something. And sometimes you can be sort of almost misled by the success of others and how easy they make it look. Which when you're not getting that same level of success, it can be disheartening.
Yeah. I think, what do we mean by staying on the path is, going through all the belts ultimately and actually becoming a seasoned submission grappler. In gi, in no gi, whatever your preference is. But once that initial couple of years, or it might be before a year, you might be questioning, I don't want to come to training. I'm not getting anywhere. I've lost my motivation to turn up. You are going to have plenty of those days. Like I would say, me personally, I have about 8 out of 10 conversations with myself are like, don't go in today. You don't have to go in. You don't have to be bent, like a pretzel. Why are you doing this? And I override those conversations. And I say, fuck that. You're going in. And it's important to me and have those goals. You're going to have a long-term vision.
Of
why you're submission grappling.
Just touching on that conversation as well, like, do you notice anything that happens prior to those conversations where you kind of go, no, I don't know if I can be arsed going? And then also, once you've overrid that, what's that feeling like after you've kind of overcome that inner dialogue and you've come training and you've had your session?
I think it's human nature. I think when you do anything uncomfortable, your mind somewhere tries to trick you into not wanting to do it again. Even though you had a fantastic session and after it you get the endorphins and you're like, why did I almost not come? Because you do feel amazing once you hear it, once you go home, on the way home. When those conversations come up, like I say, I think there's human nature, and by overriding them, as soon as I walk through the door, I'm like, they're gone. And conversations gone. They're always going to be there, but it depends the chosen few. You know, the cheesy quote, it's the chosen few. It's not who's good, it's who's left. If you listen to them, then you'll probably stay a white belt forever or a blue belt forever. But if you override them, this is a mentally taxing game as much as it is a physical game.
Yeah.
You know, if you see purple, brown, black been around the game over 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, they've got some fucking resilience about them.
Yeah.
No matter what level they are, I would say.
No, and it's just been developed in the gym, just been hammering away. That's like it's either just a fucking rock, just hammering away at the rock consistently until they're breaking through. It's a difficult one sometimes because like we know a lot of players as well who leave the sport for maybe for whatever personal reasons and then come back to it a few years later.
Yeah.
And for me, like that's gonna happen as well. Like there may be some times in your life where things get a bit too much, where you've got a lot on your plate, and like the majority of people, at the end of the day, it's a hobby. This
it's a hobby for most of us.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah,
and it's something that we all enjoy. It's something that we all want to sort of really progress, and like getting those belts is a fucking really big achievement.
Yeah.
But yeah, like not being too hard on yourself when life decides to fucking serve a bit of shit pie in your way, and maybe you have to take a small step back. And it's kind of like going, if that happens, don't be too harsh on yourself as well. Like, you can always return to the sport. The gyms are always going to be there. New gyms are always going to pop up. You can also keep in touch with your teammates and stuff like. So when we've had lads that have had to take a break here, I've said to them, I said, look, in the meantime, if you just want to fucking pop in, come down. Like, keep in the group chats, keep in touch with everybody. Like, still drop in when, if you've got that Saturday morning off and you want to just come down, maybe get some rounds in, like, still keep yourself as part of it. Because life will kick you in the teeth and there will be times when physically or even mentally you have to take a break.
Yeah. For me, I've always like set personal goals around grappling and not like the belts or winning competitions, but just getting on the mat in itself a certain amount of times per week, I believe will make your life better.
Yeah.
And over a long period of time will give you that resilience. So like for me personally, when I moved countries to kind of live and try traveling in a new country. I would have left that country if jiu-jitsu like was not possible. That's how I made it a non-negotiable in my life.
Makes sense.
Like I moved country and I was like, right, I've got a job, I've got a car, I need a jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah.
And if I did not get a jiu-jitsu gym, I was willing to leave, drop everything, and go find a jiu-jitsu gym. So I understand what you're saying, but life can get in the way. But at the same time, this can actually teach you a lot about life too.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah,
and like,
if you can get on the mat once a week,
get
on the mat once a week.
No, definitely, and like I say, I agree with that as well. Like, because for me personally, if I was in your shoes, I would have done the same. And for me, that's like the reasons maybe might have been different for why you wanted a jiu-jitsu gym there and why I would have wanted a jiu-jitsu gym there, but like the intention to train would have still been there. And it's because for me, the beauty of it is like it's a worldwide community, so I can go to any city that's got a jiu-jitsu gym in there, find a community, and if I'm on my own, go in, train, and I'm more than likely gonna bump into a couple of like-minded people and potentially have some sort of connections in that city just from turning up and training. And for me, that's part of the beauty of staying on the path is you've got some sort of social network throughout the world without knowing them. And it's like you saying there before, like you believe it will make your life better, and I'm the same. I firmly believe that. And like there's a lot of research that's gone into the power of like human connection and uplifting the mood and how dangerous loneliness is. And as adults, socializing can be awkward and difficult. Like, we don't tend to make new friends as grown-ups because we've got a load of shit going on. Like, we don't really stop to talk to people on the street anymore.
None of them are my friends, by the way.
Fuck yes. And
just bodies.
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
Just gonna fucking hammer you all the time.
Ice cold.
This fucking stone face. Trying to think of the American Psycho guy there now. And
There'll be a ghost in there. You think I'm there, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
You think I'm not there, and then I'm there.
With a chainsaw like that. And like, you get yourself involved in a sport like this, and you kind of going to make new human connections start off with by proxy, because you've got to communicate with people. You've got to get hands on with people and that kind of sport. And you're going to be around a load of new people. So there's going to be a lot of people going, oh, what's your name? Da, 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 da. Especially in here, like, we're very welcoming to new people. And I say probably coming away from staying to the path, but it's kind of like reasons to get onto the path and stay on the path is that friendship connection you make. Like, I've got a load of mates now. Might speak to them a couple of times a year or just bump into them at competitions and stuff, but fucking just mint as fuck people from the sport who I've trained with, competed with, maybe chatted to, and just getting human connections within the gyms. And for me, that's been my main thing for keeping to the path. For me, it's like, I'm a firm believer that it's going to improve your life, and just on top of everything you've mentioned as well, is like that human connection side as well.
Yeah, a long-term vision for why you're doing grappling.
Yeah.
Whole, like if you just focus on the belts or like how well you're doing in the rounds, I think you're going to come unstuck because those things fade. You know, once you get a new belt, you get used to that belt. Yeah. It can be years in between, and you know, let's face it, you are going to lose a lot in this kind of hobby / sport. So you've got to have those longer term goals around it. And for me in my life, I've had like my own business and I've been self-employed for certain periods of time. Having that challenge to get on the mat, even though my life's been chaotic, has been really important for me. Like, there's been so many times where I should not be on the mat. It's unreal. All sorts has happened, and I'm like, Tuesday I said I was going. Tuesday I'm there. Thursday I said I was going. Not, this has happened. I've not come, because that will spiral.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're not going the next week because you've made another excuse.
Yeah.
Having those concrete, scheduled sessions helps you stay on the path.
100%.
And you'll only come out of it. You might come out with some new ideas for your business. You might have given yourself them few hours that you actually needed to blow off the steam. I find it bizarre when I work with clients and they're like, I ain't got time to come training. And I'm like, okay, you might be really focused, but it's an hour.
Yeah.
And if you can't give yourself an hour, probably shows where your priorities are.
Well, I think key thing there is just giving yourself that time.
Yeah.
Because like, we're all guilty of working right through and just doing things to burn out. Yeah. But like, doing something for yourself as well, being selfish, is actually a very important trait to have when done correctly and in certain doses, where you kind of have to fill your own cup to be able to then give to others.
Yeah.
So like, I can like give as much to my students as I'd like if my own cup's empty. So then I've got to be selfish to be able to help and give more to those around me.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you've made it this far, guys, hit like and subscribe. And if you don't, I'm going to double leg you.
Catch you in the next one.